Chapter 3. A Friend and a Hero. Jeanette just walked with such a purpose, with her head held high, never looking down to anyone. I was beyond jealous, desperate for that kind of confidence. I wasn't sure I could ever do it. I felt the vibes from everyone else, and they clearly said, "I'm better than you." She led me to a large tree where many females were sitting. I noticed the she-wolf speaking had a name tag that read Megan. I know it may sound so simple to some, but being able to read meant everything to me. I was sure the others that came from Kingdom 10 couldn't read. "Curfew is 11 p.m. for those that haven't shifted yet, 2 a.m. for those who have, and if you're on your birthday night, you're not to be out without a counsellor," she explained. "When's your big day?" Jeanette whispered. "The 9th, I said. "Oh, jelly. I have forever to wait, it seems." "I'm the 27th, she said, still holding my arm. I wasn't completely sure the 9th was my birthday, was the thing of it. The blanket that I was left with at the orphanage had July 9th sewn into it with rudimentary stitching, so that's what I always went by. It was a general rule that if you were to give up your pup, that you did somehow leave an idea of their birthday. For a pup to not know when their first shift would come was pretty cruel. That was one of the few rules the palace did try to enforce, along with not mating or marking a pup. But of course, where I came from, I'd seen things. I'd heard things. "Just a word to the wise. Your phones are waterproof, but please do not go out of your way to test that by leaving it at the bottom of the lake. Also, when you're in a class or under instruction, have it on silent. We're all adults here, and we don't want to have to take phones away, but we will," Megan said. Oh, I had no idea how to use the phone, but I would have to figure it out. Not like anyone would call me, though. "Girl, we'll have to swap numbers," Jeanette said, excited. I grinned. Did I have a friend already? I had to play it cool, so she couldn't know I was desperate. "Sure," was all I could think to say without sounding too needy. "All right, so it's about 90 minutes until chow time. Why doesn't everyone find a partner and go on a little self-guided tour? I'm in cabin 39 if anyone has questions," Megan said. "I came here and toured around a bit a couple years ago when my sister came, so I kind of know some stuff. I'll show you," Jeanette said, pulling me away from the group. My feet just absent-mindedly followed hers, excited for someone new to talk to. Someone who was kind and didn't have any expectations of me other than my company. Surely she'd be bored of me quickly, though. I had nothing to talk about of much interest. I mean, what do I say? "Hey, I'm one of the maids who has probably cleaned your house? I'm one of the females that gets sold or handed off to other males that can't find a suitable wife on their own?" No, I had to put all that out of my mind. It wasn't going to be my path or my future anymore, and I had to do everything possible to ensure I didn't go back there. Miss Sally's house would only ever be a distant nightmare. After a few minutes of her pointing out where the medical cabin was, the dining hall, and the path led to the training grounds, I saw the lake. It was a good walk away still, but it was breathtaking. There were literally no bodies of water in my kingdom. Well, what I'd seen. There was a sandy beach all the way around it, and the sun shone brilliantly on the little ripples created by the small breeze. "Isn't it pretty?" she said, pointing. "It's absolutely breathtaking," I said, simply in awe. And terrifying, I thought. A death trap. "You do know how to swim, right?" she said, starting to walk toward it. I cringed. "No, never learned," I said shyly. "Oh, hey, no biggie. We'll get that fixed up," she said, bumping my shoulder. Well, I don't even have a swimsuit," I said, embarrassed. "I don't have room in my bag for a lot of things, but there's no point in having a swimsuit with nowhere to swim." "Oh, no big thing. I have 4 I brought. I mean, you're a lot more blessed than me in the boob department, and you got a nice round butt, but I'm sure one will do," she said. I absolutely blushed, and if we weren't out in public with others around, I would probably hide in a dark corner and pine over her words for days. This unbelievably beautiful girl was jealous of my body? She had even checked me out like that? A stupid smile crept on my face. I was insanely bashful and in shock. I wasn't at all used to compliments.
Hey, Jeanette! I didn't know this was your birth month. You gotta give me your cell number. We can hang out at night.
A male said. We were now at the lake, and there were easily 24 others standing around. I wasn't getting wolf vibes from all of them, which either meant they were Lycan or some other kind of shifter. I was completely intrigued. I've never seen anything but a wolf in its natural form. Jeanette dropped her grip on my hand and began speaking to the male. I felt so out of place, but I was insanely curious about the water. I found myself walking onto the long dock, passing a few that were in conversation. I got to the end and sat on my knees. I inhaled the fresh mountain air, the heavenly scent of the woods that every shifter loved so much. It felt right. It felt like home. Kingdom 10 was a bustling city, filled with people on the go and most working 2 or 3 jobs. Enjoying nature like this was beyond a luxury most there never got to know. I pushed away my fear of the water and reached down, scooped some in my hand. It was clear and cool. My perfect moment was, however, very short-lived. My ears quickly picked up the sound of feet moving fast, hard against the dock. I began to pull back from my hunched-over position, but I didn't get the chance to move far. Suddenly, I was thrown forward and I felt the water envelop me. My hands frantically swung around and my feet kicked. Water filled my nose and my mouth. I completely froze with panic. I bobbed to the surface long enough to get a gasp of air before going under again. I struggled to breathe and my arms kept flapping the water, trying to break the top.